Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rapid Ranch. Here we are with the 66 Mustang. This is part 2. If you watched my last video at the very end, you heard me say something catastrophic happened with this car. And I ended that video shortly and didn't get basically the AC charged, which I was going to do and put in the video. I had to stop because I got this thing running and something bad happened. I heard the engine start knocking. Let me just give you a little backstory here. Well, anyway, that is the catastrophic thing. This motor's toast. I think it's spun a bearing. Now, this car, backstory, was bought from a dealer about 5 months ago, who bought it from an auction. Might have been Meekum or something like that. My customer bought it and paid a pretty penny for this thing. He drove it, he maybe put, I think he said 600 miles only on. This is like his 4th car. He doesn't drive this thing all the time. This is just his old classic. He was driving it around. One day he called me and he said he's dead on the side of the road. It just stopped. So it got towed to me and I told him I'm a little busy. I'll get to it in a little bit. And he's like, no problem. I told him probably the fuel pump went out. So when I got it, I threw some gas down the carburetor. Boom, fired right up. There was no fuel flow. Gas tank's full. So the fuel pump did die. And he said, you know what, let's just do a bunch of upgrades while you got it, a new fuel system and all that good stuff. It was running pretty good, but he's just like, let's just do a brand new carburetor, a brand new fuel pump, a brand new fuel tank, and all new fuel lines. So all the fuel system is pretty much done and brand new. So we did all that, and that's all great. And then let's go on to the upgrades of the vintage air and whatnot. But I told him I'm gonna do all his fluids and whatnot, and let's do some maintenance while I have your car. Pulled his dipstick, there was nothing on it. Like, that's kind of weird. Pulled the dipstick again, cleaned it off, nothing on it. Like, okay, that's a problem. Let's drain the oil. Throw a drain pan under there, open up the plug, about half a quart, 3/4 of a quart came out of the engine, and it was black and sludgy. Here, I'll play that video right here of when I very first seen it. I just drained the oil. That's all that came out. That's it. That's half a quart. It's black. Look at how thick it is. It's not, normally it would just run. That is bad. This oil is old. This thing hasn't been changed forever from before he bought it. That's no bueno. No, that's bad. There's no oil. That oil pump could not be picking up anything. That's crazy to me. So as you can see, that's not good. He didn't say he heard anything weird. It just died on him at an intersection one time. So I got the fuel system going, got the engine running, and it sounded great. Not a problem. Let's do the vintage air on it. Well, after the vintage air was done and I got all the belts and all the stuff out, which was basically the end of the last video, I wanted to get it running and driving around the yard a little bit, right? So I got it running, and after I got some heat in it, I noticed it was burning oil and was smoking out of the exhaust pipe. And it was very strong burning oil. 100% it was burning oil. And I'm like, wow, that's a little excessive. And then a tap started coming from the engine, and then a knock. And as soon as I heard that knock, that was it. I knew it. It starved for oil. There was no oil in the motor. Who knows what happened? You know what? I don't have an answer to this. But anyway, it had no oil in it. So it's knocking. It spun a bearing, 100%. So I have a video that I took when I found it to send to him of the top here. You can hear some tapping, and the bottom side of the pan where you can hear knocking while it's running. So let me play that video for you now so you can make the judgment for yourself. So listen to this. So that's knocking to me. I've heard a lot of spun bearing engines. I've blown up a few engines myself racing, and That's bad. That's not a good sound. It had no oil in it, and the oil was black. So anyway, here we are. This car now is getting this motor yanked out because I don't even want to rebuild this. I don't know how the cam bearings are. I don't know what shape the cam is in. I don't know what shape the crank is in. And for the money it would take to rebuild this thing, you could buy a crate motor, which I can't find right now. For some reason, all these engine builders I call don't even have any 289s on the shelf. Whatever. Behind you, which you can't see, I did find a 1995 roller motor out of a F-150. It's in great shape, low miles, and it's going to be built up to be put in this. And the customer's totally cool with that. I asked him if he's okay with a used motor, and he goes, I bought it with a used motor. So that's his humor. So that's what we're doing. The 289 is coming out. It's getting, well, there's the phone, so. Spam, what do you know? Spam calls. We got spam motor, we got spam calls. Anyway, it's getting a modern roller motor in it, but it is going to be switched over to all these accessories. I'm not changing anything. I'm not putting the serpentine setup on it, especially since I already got a V-belt compressor for the vintage air. So it's all going to be exactly like this. It's going to look old. It's still going to run points in the distributor. It's going to be this, but it's going to be a 302, so it's a little bit of an upgrade. So that's what I'm doing in this video. It's getting, hopefully I can fit in this video. It's getting full exhaust, all the way back, duals with Flowmasters, because he wants some sound out of this thing. The gauge cluster is being slightly modified, and I'm getting nice, bright, super bright LED.com green LEDs in it, because you can't see the gauges at night. These things never illuminated nicely from the factory. It's getting disc brake conversion. I have that in-house. That is going on here now. And then it's getting the modern 302. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is get this thing out of the car. First things first, drain the radiator. Well, I am officially dirty and filthy, laying on the dirty ground, but the motor, it's time to get it out. Everything is unhooked. The transmission's staying in the car. I got the bell housing bolts undone. I got the torque converter done. I've unhooked all the electrical. I've unhooked all the linkages. Everything should be free from this motor. I even took the carburetor off just to save it and make sure nothing happens here. I'm gonna cover this up, even though something falls down in there. I don't care. This motor's shot, but we're gonna cover this up. Got my chain ready to take it out. I don't have my load leveler here right now. Unfortunately, someone borrowed it from me, so we're going raw dog on this. Let's get the cherry picker in position, and let's yank this old, disgusting, blown out girl out of here. Okay, this oil literally has not even 20 minutes of idle time. I've revved it up once or twice, but this oil was brand new. This car never drove down the road with this oil. First things first, look at this. Look at this stuff coming off here. It's just baked, and that's where the pump was. And it's just all around these edges on the top, it's baked on. Now, that's nasty. That's like a 1/4 inch thick of sludge on the bottom there. I did expect to see more chunks. I really did. Look, see it? See how it's turning gray? That's all metal. That's just creamy metal oil turning gray. That's pieces of piston. That's all kinds of things. Bearing. Let's see how many chunks are down in here. Oh, it's full of chunks. Oh boy. Oh, hold on. See if I can get it all out in my hand. Look at this. There's just chunks. Wow, there's a lot. I just can't grab it all because it's all oily. Look at that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a bad motor. So that's why we're not even going to rebuild this. Not saying it's not rebuildable, but I'm not rebuilding this. Someone else can. I'll sell it to someone cheap if they want it. But yeah, when you grab stuff out of your oil pan and you hear that, that's not good. Okay, well, this pan needs to be cleaned up because we're using this pan. I need it. It's the right sump side. So I gotta clean all of this and make this thing spotless. Thought I'd stop for a second and show you this. So this is the front timing cover taken off with the fuel pump still in it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that seal, how crusty and hard it is. Even though I don't think it was leaking. But look at this thick. Look at this. It's baked. I don't know. It's like ashy. It's not even oily anymore. I mean, it is, but it's like, I don't know. But the inside of this motor was bad. Damn it. That sucks. This is not a healthy motor. When I start taking apart the 302, which we know has 129,000 miles on it, we're going to do a comparison of the insides. I mean, I need to clean this up and restore this and put a new seal in it because I'm using this to put on the 302 because I need it for the fuel pump and all the other goodies. So, and the dipstick. But I just wanted to stop and let you see that. Look at that. That's bad. This engine ever have oil changes? Jeez. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and this is what I go back to talking about polishing a turd. These are the manifolds from the 289 from the auction. I mean, look at this. I build shiny cars. I build not shiny cars. There's times to cut corners and there's times not to cut corners. This was literally just sprayed on the car, run like crazy, make it look shiny so it can go to auction and someone can pay crazy money for it. It's done completely, look at it, unacceptable. I mean, look, you could see where it was on the car and they didn't get paint under every single header or port. This is unacceptable. Look at that. That's horrible. This is the 5.0 302 that I took out of a 1995 Ford F-150. That was a 4-wheel drive. I've got the whole transmission case in one whole unit. This got pulled out, had 129,000 miles on it. Truck got rear-ended, put it out of commission. The guy didn't want to do anything, so the motor was yanked out, and here we got it. And there's a couple things you got to change to put this in where the 289 goes, some flywheel stuff, some distributor gear, and 3-bolt pulley and whatnot on the crank. So there's some things I got to do to switch it over to a roller motor, but this is essentially the same block and whatnot, so everything should bolt on it, motor mounts, manifolds, everything hit, But anyway, all this is going away. I'm going to tear this thing apart. I'm going to blow all this fuel injected stuff off, the serpentine belts, all this, none of it's staying. It's all going bye-bye. So I just want to get down to the bare block. I want to degrease the crap out of it, pressure spray it, clean it, and then I can put it on an engine stand and I can flip it over, take the oil pan off. I've already pulled the valve covers and it looks spotless inside there. It's great. You can definitely tell this thing only has 129,000 miles on it. But I want to make sure, I want to look in there and check it out, and I'll probably leave the rotating assembly alone as long as it looks good, and then replace every gasket on this thing and the water pump and whatever it needs before it goes back in that car as getting new. So if you're looking to do the late model 302 into an old Mustang or anything else, there's a few things you need to buy, and I'm kind of making a little parts list here of things I had to get, because it's not a direct bolt-in. It's very close, but it's not quite direct. Now, the differences in the blocks are very minute, but these are the things that you're going to need to change. First, the dipstick comes out of the block, the back side of the block on the 302. And on the 289, it comes out of the front timing cover, because the 302 has a rear sump pan and the 289 has a front sump pan. So you're going to have to do something there. What you got to do is, I mean, you can go at this different ways, but I'm going to drill and tap. This is an 1/8 inch pipe tap, and I'm going to put a plug in there. So I'm going to drill the block, tap the block, put some sealant, and seal her up for good. I know I got 2 plugs here, but you only need 1. So you're going to need to do that to close up the dipstick hole on the 302. The next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need, if you're using a mechanical fuel pump, a fuel pump eccentric. So on the timing set, the cam gear on the 289 has one of these, and it runs the mechanical fuel pump, and on the 302 it's non-existent. So you need to get yourself an eccentric like this to run the mechanical fuel pump. If you're going electric fuel pump, it doesn't matter, and don't even do this. Now, moving over to this stuff. So this is the flex plate off of the 302. And remember, this was a 1995 302. The 289 in it has an old C4 automatic 3-speed in it, which is a smaller flywheel. And I can't remember, I think this is like a 12, sorry, flex plate. This is a 12 inch and this is 14 inch. The torque converter bolt pattern is the same. I think it's 10.5 across, center to center. So that's good, but the bigger flywheel, flex plate, excuse me, will not fit in the old C4. The bell housing's just too small. Another thing is the 289 is 28 ounce externally balanced. So it's got a 28 ounce flex plate and it's got a 28 ounce dampener in the front. On the 302, it is 50 ounce. It's a late model, sir. You got to do that for 2 reasons. One, you got to get the smaller flex plate, unless you got a late model 302, and there might be some cars with transmissions behind them that have the smaller flywheel, and then you don't need that. But you got to get a smaller one that fits in the old C4 like I'm doing, and it has to be 50 ounce externally balanced. And then the next thing you got to do is you got to match it with a 50 ounce dampener, because you cannot run the factory 50 ounce dampener on the 302. The reason for that is it is 4-bolt. So here's the pulleys on the 2 engines. This is the late model 302. It's 4-bolt mount, and it's serpentine. And the 289 is 3-bolt mount. And I'm sticking with V-belts and everything stock on this motor, because I'm literally pulling out a motor and putting in a motor. So I'm not going to change all this. Now you could, you know, and then you wouldn't have to do this. You could run a serpentine setup on your car, but that's your prerogative there. But I, and anyone else who's doing this that's going to run the old V-belt stuff, you have 3 bolts. So I had to buy this aftermarket 50 ounce balanced dampener for the 302, and it has provisions for the 4 bolts or the 3 bolts to run either pulleys of these. So there's that. The next thing, so these are the front timing covers, bolt up the same. The only difference here is the 302 one here does not have an opening for the mechanical fuel pump like the 289, and here's the 289 one, it has the dipstick provision, because the front sump is here, so this is where you check your oil. This one does not, because the dipstick's in the block. So while they're nearly identical, there's those differences. And you know, again, if you're not going to run a mechanical fuel pump, you're going to run electric, you don't need this. But because it's going in an old Mustang, it's front sump, and you need a way to check the oil with the dipstick. This does not have it. So you're going to need this. You're going to need one off of one of the old motors that have the front sump. So you have your dipstick. If you're using an electric fuel pump, you can just buy a block-off plate for the fuel pump here. So I'm going to get this cleaned up more. I'm going to get it painted. I'm going to replace the seal. Do not forget to replace that seal. And then this is going to go back on the motor. There is one other thing I'll have to show, and it's the oil pumps. You got to change the pickup tube, because The 302 is rear sump, so the pickup tube's long to reach the rear sump. The 289 is a front sump, so it's got a short pickup tube, so you're going to need to get that swapped over with your pan. So it's all dirty and in my oil pan here, but I wanted to show these are the two oil pumps to the two motors. This is the one from the 95, this is the one from the 66. The fuel pumps look near identical. Near identical. Bolt in the exact same spot. This is the oil pump gear shaft. I took them out and made sure they were the exact same length. All that's good. The differences here are the pickups. This is the one for the 95 to reach to the rear sump. This is the one to the 66, the 289, for the front sump. So you're gonna, if you're like me and you have both engines, you can just take the front sump. Otherwise, you're gonna need to ditch your long one and you're gonna need to buy a front sump pickup. Now, I'm going to put a new oil pump in this engine because I don't want to trust it. I'm sure both of these work fine, but the one in the 289, looking at the nastiness in there, I don't even want to, I'm not even going to mess with that. Pretty sure this one works just fine, but we're going to replace them because who wants to go back in here? But so that's the differences. It's the pickup lengths that you're going to need to do. But I'm pretty sure the pumps throughout all these years are identical. There might be a change in pressures or high flow, I don't know, but physically, they look nearly identical. They have all the same like casting marks and stuff. And this 100% came out of the old 66, and this 100% came out of the 95. I mean, they are so dang close, it's ridiculous. But this one out of 289 is baked on crap, and this one I don't know. So we're gonna replace it, but I'm gonna take this, put it in the parts washer, clean the crap out of it, and we're gonna use this in the new 302. And the next thing on the 65 Mustang, the customer wanted better gauge cluster illumination. These are the stock bulbs that come in here, and these gauge panels, they are notorious for being dim. It doesn't matter what you put in there. So I took these out and I ordered a first set. I guess I'm going to say so, and I'll show you when I on the bench with the gauge cluster, but the inside of the gauge cluster has a blue dome. And the bulb, which, you know, these old bulbs are kind of amber lit yellow-ish. And as everyone knows from the Ziploc commercials, yellow and blue make green. So the blue filter in the gauge cluster and the yellow of this light bulb makes green light, and your gauge cluster lights up green. And most people want to keep it green. They want to keep that vintage style, and they want to upgrade it. So I tried one thing first, and what I did is I bought some LED amber yellowish bulbs and thought I'd just stick them in, and with that amber yellowish bulb with the filter of the blue in the gauge cluster, it would make green light. Well, I put them in, and the LEDs were no brighter than this. I think the filter has a lot to do with it, the blue filter in there. It doesn't allow a lot of light. So I sent those back, and I went to the best other route. superbrightleds.com, I think it was. I've ordered a lot of stuff from them, and they're very good. So what I did is I ordered green LEDs for this, which are these. And what I'm going to do is take the blue filters out of the inside of the gauge cluster, and now the only illumination that will be happening are these LEDs from Super Bright LEDs. And these ones are supposed to be really bright. That's why they got green on them, because it's indicating the green. So I'm going to go on the bench, and I'm going to take apart the gauge cluster and take them blue filters out. I'll show you that. And then I can't wait to I lit one of these up earlier, and damn, they're bright. That's why they're called Super Bright LEDs, because these are some bright suckers. So when I get those filters off, I bet these make it so much brighter. And I took a picture of what it looked like before stock, and I'll put that up as a before and a after. And I'll tell you, even in the picture itself, the green from the factory bulbs looks brighter than it is in real life. I guess the picture kind of illuminates it a little bit, but they're still pretty dim. And when at night, seriously, if you guys got Mustangs, you know, you could barely even see the gauges. They're so dim. So once these are in, I'm going to do an after, and we'll do a before and after photo so you can see it. So, all right, let's get to the bench and get those blue filters off. All right, here we are at the gauge cluster. So these are the ones that I bought. These are amber colored. There's an LED on each side. They're a cob LED, I think, and they seemed pretty good. These were Amazon. I like cobs. They seem to be pretty bright, and they kind of diffuse a little bit. Well, these are what I got, and they sucked. I guess they're okay brightness if you were just using them as a yellow amber light, but in this gauge cluster, they sucked. So these are the blue filters. There's a blue dome in there, and when the bulb goes inside like this, yellow and blue make green light. These things are foggy and just, they don't disperse. This is 1965 technology. So I'm going to get rid of these. So what I'm going to do, take this apart, take this back bezel off, and then I'll probably take a small drill bit and I'll drill out these little plastic rivets to take them off. So let's do it. And those are the blue filters from the factory. There's 4 illumination bulbs. There's 2 turn signal bulbs, and then there's a bulb in the center here, which is for the high beam light. So I have a green LED for the turn signals, but also we're going to green LED. These are the 4 illumination ones, and that's it. That's all you got. But what I'm going to do is get a drill bit or something and get those to where I can drill them out and then pop these off. That was simple. I just took a razor blade and I just whacked off the back of those. Excuse me, choking when I say the word whack off. Whacked off the back of those and boom, it popped right out. And here's what you got. That is a factory filter, and that's why light wouldn't shine through this much. I mean, that sucker was inside there. It's no go. And I'm actually looking right here and I can see this one's melted. So those factory incandescent bulbs have melted this one and it's loose. So it's nasty. That one looks okay, that one looks okay. Doesn't matter, we're taking them out. I'm going to shake it, make sure there's nothing left in it. Okay. All the filters are taken off. I'm going to give this a little wipe and then put the gauge cluster back together. Make sure you put this on the right way. Those are for the turn signal barrels, so it focuses light down in there more. Just like that, nice and easy. Put the screws back in. And there we have it. All right, let's go get this put back in the car and get its nice, super bright LEDs put inside of it. So here I've turned the shop lights off. I don't have a before and after video, I don't think. I do have a before photo. I'll make sure to put that up next to a after photo. But I'm gonna kick these on and let's see how bright they are. Oh yeah, much brighter. I can actually read the gauges. So those are a worthwhile thing to do. I mean, look how bright it is. So much better. Let's see, I'll turn the key on. Let's get the turn signals. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. They flash beautifully. Love it. So now you can see that. Even if there was headlights coming at you, you can see that. All right, I'm gonna take a picture of this so I have an after. And this upgrade is done. So this is why we're upgrading the exhaust, amongst many things under here. Is these old 65, 66 Mustangs, this one has a Y exhaust. This is not a true dual, so it goes from one pipe to the other pipe, and it goes up into a single back there, and that's some tiny pipe. Ignore all the leaks. I have to fix all of those also while I'm down here. But I'm going to put a nice dual exhaust, all brand new on this. Let me come back here. So it goes up over the axle, single into a single muffler here, which it looks like somebody's put some little straight through thing on it, and a single exhaust pipe out here. Tiny, that's like 2 inches. Major restriction. But anyway, all that is gonna go bye-bye. That exhaust is really close to that drive shaft too, I see. Anyway, so I'll show you once I get this thing taken off. I'll put it on the ground next to the nice dual exhaust we're gonna put in here. This is gonna be awesome. And the exhaust is out, and the Y pipe to the single to the crap. And that, yep. But we're going to that. So what I have here is a nice dual exhaust all the way back, true dual. It's got an H pipe in it. This is all made a kit for this. So I'm going 2 different routes here. We're gonna see what the customer wants. I have a set of these standardized kind of, these are full bore brand or something like that, 2 1/4. And we're gonna put those on and see what they sound like. See if they're loud enough for the customer. He's not going too crazy, but he does kind of want that muscle car sound. The other option, which I say not too crazy, but the other option, which I don't have here yet, but they're gonna be 2-chamber Flowmasters, which I've put on Mustangs a lot. It's a classic sound. It's very loud. So I'm gonna have both options. I'll probably put these on with no clamps and start it just to see what it sounds like. Send him a little exhaust clip. If he likes it, great. If not, Flowmasters is gonna be the next thing. Because he did have this straight through thing in here. Looks about 2 1/4 also. But you know, 2 pipes into one that go the back of the whole car and then come out a single, and I measured that. That's 2 inches. All that exhaust has to come out that. It had a very slightly deeper tone than I would say a stock car would have with a single exhaust like this. So this I think will be an upgrade in sound for him, but if not, again, Flowmasters. So these also have the pre-bent tailpipes. They necked down the end here to go into your factory trumpets or the exhaust that comes out your rear valance here. This car does not have that. So I have coming some chrome tips. They're just 2 1/4. They're just straight cut with a little rounded end on them, and they're just gonna sit nicely under here. Nothing crazy. Don't want to get wild. This is a pretty stock looking car. Don't need no giant tips on here. I mean, I was gonna go, you know, this 3.5 inch and do that all the way. We could do a hood stack. That's it. We'll hood stack this sucker. 3.5 inch polished stainless. Yeah. That's actually for my 7.3 Power Stroke, but we'll talk about that later. And it's not going through the hood, no. All right, I'm gonna start getting this in. I'm gonna go try to fit up that front H pipe. I got a feeling I'm gonna have some trouble with that. All this is easy stuff, but I think that's gonna give me some problems. So let's go get that put in. This is the sound of those mufflers. Now the pipes are just hanging in it. They're just sitting there. I have nothing clamped together, but that's it. That's way too quiet. Almost sounds stock with those mufflers. So guess what that means? We're going Flowmaster 2 chambers. This is too stock. It's too quiet. It's quieter than that was. That was louder than this. This is a true dual exhaust. Ignore the pipe hanging, but that's it. Taking a little stop here to show you the progress on the Mustang's exhaust. So we got the H pipe in and the back pipes, whatnot. I got the mufflers just sitting here on a strap. I still got everything's loose. Everything's loose. Gonna do some clamping and welding, but I got one. Oh yeah, Flowmaster dual chambers. Got one that comes up this way. That one's in. I haven't got this one yet. One thing I'm not liking, this rubber brake line that comes out of that flange right there. Really close to that pipe. I can't go much more this way because there's the shock. You know, the axle's very drooped. When this thing is in place, the axle's gonna be way up here, which will probably push the line up around here. I still feel it's too close. I might look into getting a new longer rubber line here. And where it comes out of this bracket, I might make a little custom kickover bracket or whatnot so it's not angled this way. And have it come over and around it, just to keep it far away. I might even put some heat shielding stuff around this. It's the only thing I don't like. Other than that, these things are fitting really well. I could push this back, you know, deeper a little more and get this pipe back here, just a slight mount. But I'm running into room here. And I want this height because this axle needs to come way up here, especially if you hard bumps, to get this to come out to where it needs to be here. So it's looking good. Lots of little adjustments, and then I'll put some hangers. Some will be out here on the pipe, and then I'll have some up by the mufflers there to hold the weight. Those are brand new. They came in the kit. I just wanted to stop real quick and get like a nice little, there we go. Brand new pipes all the way up from the manifolds back to these Flowmasters. And yes, they're almost touching the exhaust pipe there. Everything will be pushed 2 inches over on each side so I can fit at least 3 fingers between those. Plus, this axle's at full droop and that drive shaft will be up higher, but I want to make sure there's no chance of anything hitting anything. I had to actually cut and split these right here to get those to slide in. They were a little tight, but it'll work. These will get a clamp, but also I'll weld that. So we're getting there. I just wanted to stop and show that real quick. Now I just want to get back here and finish these over axle arches, get that good. Oh, and let me go back over here. I got some new, let's see here, one-handed, new chrome tips for this thing. Oh, there we go, that's the end. So it's a little rounded. It's not rounded on the inside, but chrome tips are gonna come out of this bad boy. You know, something or other like so. I'll have to see where they're gonna go, but chrome tips going next to all these chrome pieces on this Mustang, I think that's gonna look sweet. Okay, let's keep going. So guys, I'm going to end this video right here. The car had to be somewhere for the 4th of July and the sun went down and it had to go. I had no chance to drive it and get any driving videos of it. But AC was working great. The 302 motor, tons of power, super smooth. The new exhaust on it sounds great. The car is perfect. The customers got it back. It went and did some 4th of July thing with some classic cars. We're happy, he's happy, everything's good. So I'm ending this video here. Make sure you like and subscribe because there's tons of weird and different cool cars I work on here, you know, all the time. There's always something different. So keep a lookout for videos. They're coming slow, but they are coming. So everyone have a good one, and thank you for watching, and see you next time.